a peregrine falcon, a bacteria, is made up of just 4 nucleotide bases. Adenine, thymine, guanine, cytosine. A, T, G, C, rearranged, flipped around, shuffled, repeated, ATGC, 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 over and over and over into infinity, until we know who we are. But what does that make the English language? Now you know the language we speak is made up of not just 4 letters, but 26. Does that make it more complex? Now, a biologist might disagree. I mean, after all, a human has 46 chromosomes, while a rattlesnake fern, has 184. Numbers don't always guarantee complexity, but I think that sometimes the letters that make up a word say far more about it than we let on. Take the word cat, for instance. Cat. C-A-T, cat. A simple word, only 3 letters, 3 distinct sounds, and yet we have established the idea of a furry, occasionally vicious mammal, often remembered as constant companion of old ladies, and subject to the vast majority of videos on YouTube. 3 letters did that. Just 3, and we have suddenly defined an entire collection of beings. But there's something else special about the word cat. You see, cats are lucky. Each letter in their name is given an individual chance. You hear the C, you hear the A, you hear the T, and each letter stands for itself. Just like cats. They don't hide their opinions. They are themselves. But you know, cats are just cats, there's not much to them, so let's look at a slightly more complex word like chair. Now, a chair, you know, is both literally and metaphorically a form of support, something that gives you rest when you're tired. From the king on his throne to you in your comfy recliner, everyone needs a chair once in a while to hold himself up when the going gets rough. But C-H-A-I-R, 5 letters, but still only 3 distinct sounds. Now see, first the C and the H each take their distinctive k and sounds and combine them in pursuit of the glorious ch. Each one sacrifices a little, supporting the other, and as a result they both come out a little better. Now the A and the I are a whole different story. In this case, the A basically takes over the I, making it act like a little A clone. The A is clearly the stronger of the 2, and the I comes to rely on it too much, ultimately losing itself to the A. Before long, there's no I left at all, except the face it sees staring back in the mirror every morning. And what about the R? The R is alone. Independent, clearly speaking for itself, but the R has nobody. No support. Day after day, it's expected to look the same, sound the same, act the same, be the same perfect letter that everyone wants, and doesn't the R ever get tired? You know I do. So, great, we know what makes up a trivial word like cat or chair, but the big question still remains, what about the really important words, you know, the truly complex ones, the ones filled with layers on layers of meaning and truth? What about the words that define the human experience? What about love? Now, love is a funny word. See, it looks on the surface to be just as simple a word as cat, you know, of 3 distinct easy syllables. What's the big deal? Well, the big deal is that love is not exactly what it looks like. In fact, only 2 of the letters, the L and the V, are even acting like themselves at all. These 2 are the genuine, the honest, those who realize that love comes to those who don't pretend. Now, the O does not understand this at all. Oh, no. The O lets the E dictate its behavior, even though the 2 aren't standing anywhere near each other. E probably doesn't even know that the O exists, but the O doesn't care. It just keeps going on pretending that it's somebody that it's not, taking away its lovely ringing sound and replacing it with a dull more reminiscent of a U. It's an unintelligent sound. It's a lie, forming an awkward barrier between the 2 letters who might actually have a chance of understanding each other. And then there's the E. The E is quiet. No, more than quiet, the E is silent. The E does not know what sort of power it has over the O. The E does not know that it is just as valid as any of the other letters. It's a role that E has gotten used to. It's the wallflower of words. E stands alone at the end of many a word, clinging to the sidelines and wishing desperately for its chance to be seen, to be heard, to be loved. E sometimes wonders if the other letters ever think about it. Assumes they don't. The E is even lonelier than the R of chair. I mean, the R is at least relied on. E is forgotten. And you know, isn't that just the nature of love? I mean, it looks like such a nice word, such a simple and beautiful concept, but the waters grow murky upon closer inspection. You know, sometimes the E, which is the L, would laugh at her Monty Python jokes the way she laughs at his. Sometimes the L, which is the E, would stop being so absorbed with herself and look past the dull facade the O is putting up to see him for what he really is. Sometimes the O wonders if he's selling himself short. And these letters, all of these letters, they have meaning. 26 letters, shifted, shuffled, changed, but always maintaining some semblance of their original uniqueness. These letters form our lives and tell us what it really means to live, to love, to be human. And, well, I guess that makes sense. 4 letters tell us what we are. But it takes 26 to express all we are capable